My name is Shelley, and this is my story. Growing up in Baltimore, everything was not always pretty. My mother, she may have not been around like we wanted her to, but she did her very best at what she could do. A lot of negative things have happened. My father, I think I was the age of 8. He decided to rob a federal bank. He got arrested and got caught, him and his friends. And during this time, we didn't really know what was happening. All I know is I was always wanting a father figure in my life. During that time, me and my brother molested his children. And it happened for a certain amount of time at a point that it impacted me in a negative way. I became promiscuous. And I thought this is what you do to get love from a man, but that's not it. I was looking for love, and then I met this guy. I was with this man, I believe, about 15 years. And can you believe he was incarcerated? I would go see him. He would always tell me, nobody can love you like me. And what really made me stop dealing with him, he wanted my son to do something I knew that was not right. And he lied to me, and I caught him in his lie. That's when I knew right then he don't care. But also was an eye-opener for me when I was telling him, I'm a woman of God. This is not what God want me to do. And he would just laugh at me. And then he would crack jokes about my God. And I felt as though, how can I be with a man who don't respect the man who gives me life? How can I be with a man who don't trust God and know that Jesus died for our sins? It would never work. And when I finally realized I've been playing myself all these years, and I was so angry because I felt as though it was wasted time that I would never get back. I was dealing with so much pain and pressure and depression. I didn't want to associate with no one. I kept all that stuff in. But when you keep it in, that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to get into a shell and cut off everybody else and think this person is the one you need, but he's not. So I made a decision. I can't do this anymore. I decided to move to Georgia, and I had my mindset, when I'm going here, I'm going to have my house here, I'm going to find my husband here, and it's going to work for me. I'm going to do it. I will have the best job. I actually graduated. I have my associates, my bachelor's, now I'm in a master's program. There is no way they would not give me a job. And when I got there, I thought things were going to get better, but it didn't. Because through all my credentials, I still was not hired for the job I wanted. I was depressed and crying and hurting so much. And I believe God was telling me, you're not supposed to be here. And I was asking God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do, Lord? I don't know, I'm just lost. And I realized it's time for change, Shelley. I have to commit to it. I have to commit. I'm 45, and it seemed as though it took me so long to get here. I felt as though I have wasted so much time. But God said, no, daughter, you haven't wasted no time. It's just a process. Don't be too hard on yourself because I love you. I'm always with you. I trust him. I trust him. I trust the process because I've been through so much mental and emotional abuse in my life. To look back on where I used to be to where I am now, God has done it all. He has done it all for me. And so when I came back, I didn't have a church home. I was just looking at church online, but I wasn't really going. I started coming here to Focus Church, and I was overwhelmed. I could not believe the joy I felt when I came here. When you're not looking, and when you have your mind set to do better, to do more, to run after God, run with God, run towards God, by me doing this, out of the blue, I met my husband. I'm married now. I have a whole husband. And I was not looking for him. And everything I was praying, I had these books I always was going by. I said, I'm not looking for a husband, but I will pray for him until he comes, and I will pray for him when I have him. And I began to pray. And these books helped me pray and helped me on the right path, and not to be so looking for anything, just be living in the moment, be here and just stay focused on God, stay focused on my job, my work, my family. I want to be able to encourage other women who are seeking and going through different relationships with men they're not supposed to be in, be it physical, mental, emotional abuse. You don't have to. Everyone has a choice in life. You don't have to deal with it. You can step out on faith. And there are so many people out here who are here to encourage you and help you. And I just want to be baptized, to rededicate myself completely to God. This is my church home. I love my church home, and I love being here. And there's just so much more in store for me and for my husband, for my family. And I know God is in control of everything. You just gotta have faith and trust him. Just trust him.